the 2023 season comes to an end. 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 in. And with that, the 2023 season comes to an end. And with that, the 2023 season comes to an end. And with that, the 2023 season comes to an end. And with that, the 2023 season comes to an end. And with that, the 2023 season comes to an end. And with that, the 2023 season comes to an end. And with that, the 2023 season comes to an end. And with that, the 2023 season comes to an end. And with that, the 2023 season comes to an end. And with that, the 2023 season comes to an end. And with that, the 2023 season comes to an end.
Would all this stuff be hard to bring up to?
Oh, we can hear you the whole
You
time.
can hear me now.
How can we hear? I haven't got it on.
And with that,
That's very weird.
I just noticed me dancing at the end there.
Right, we're live.
Huh.
We're live on YouTube. Media team. I'll put the camera a bit close. Hello, YouTube. Thank you for tuning in to, what are we, episode 5, boys? Or 6, I can't remember, of Let's Talk Romans. And tonight we're going to be doing a recap of 2023. I'm really pleased. I don't want to go to them yet because I've got a surprise in the
Have you?
background. In your background. You've seen it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't seen it. I'll go to them in a second.
Casey special.
We've got T online as well. We've got Dave and Michael, which I'll switch to in a minute, and they're going to be discussing 2023, our first ever season in the Spartan South Midlands League Division 2. We're still top, and we're going to go through things. We were going to be live on TikTok. We're not. We're on YouTube. Please share, because we like to get as many people on as possible. As a reminder, as always, we are still looking to get to that magic 1,000 substitutes. Subscribers.
We're nearly there with the subs, to be fair.
And once we get to 1,000, one of you will win our £100 voucher, and 5 runners-up will get free match entry with burgers and chips. So please, if you haven't subscribed, if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, please do, because you're in with a chance of winning £1,000, and we're close. We're on 867, I think, as we came live. Right, so tonight I'm joined in the cabin by Dave, our main host, and Michael, our main commentator as well. I shouldn't say main, they're both equal. And Tahid, the boss man. So just before I switch over to Dave and Michael, I want to give a shout out to Casey, because the last one of these we did before Christmas, the Christmas quiz, Casey's curtains came into a bit of abuse, didn't they, Dave?
Oh, didn't they just?
So we've just done a little bit of a trip. We've done a whip round, mate. If you're watching, Casey, we've done a whip round over Christmas, and we've got you a new set of curtains that Dave and Michael are showing off there.
Just for you, Casey.
Say hello, boys.
Hello.
I'm going to leave it on you until you say hello.
Just for you, Casey, those curtains. I did see him down. He was down Dunelm the other day. I was seeing him on Tuesday night there, looking through the aisles.
There he is, look.
Oh, look at that.
Casey
Perfect match.
and his curtains.
Mate, I know we're going to talk about this, but didn't he make up for it on Saturday?
Yeah, you can talk about it. Right, let's find Tahid. I need to get Tahid's audio on as well. Keep talking, boys. I'm
We're waiting for the big man to come on.
Right, Tahid, you should be live in terms of audio now. Say hello.
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, there he is. There he is.
All right, T.
Hello, everybody.
Good. Right, so I'm going to be on the laptop trying to find clips and things. If you guys talk about anything and you want me to pull up a clip, I will pull those up. But it's a free-for-all as always. Just chat as much as you want. Look at the comments as they come in. Anyone who's got any comments, questions, get joining in. There's no script. Just have some fun, yeah? They're both looking really serious.
I just mentioned Saturday. Dave mentioned Saturday.
Yeah, go
Start
on.
with that.
Yeah.
Seems that's fresh in everyone's mind, isn't it?
Oh,
What a game.
have you
Yeah,
got a clip
it
of
was-
that? Can we go straight to the goal?
We've got Bradder's goal. I'll pull up Bradder's goal. Keep talking.
Yeah, just for people. Go on, T.
Go on. No, go on, James. You go. Dave, go.
I was just saying, just for people here, so obviously it was first versus second on Saturday. We switched the game over to Hereford FC just to make sure it went ahead. And to say it was a good game was an understatement, wasn't it?
It was. I didn't realise how nervous I was. It's only when I first started trying to put some tweets out,
Yeah.
and my fingers were about shaking. And it was really nervous start. But the first 15 minutes, the game was just mental.
Yeah.
It had everything that first 15 minutes. We then get that first goal, and Codicut just dropped 20 yards off, didn't
Did
want to
they?
know.
Yeah.
And every performance from every player we had on that pitch was a minimum 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
But Ricky Case,
Oh my God. The old boy.
I swear, like I said to him, I thought he dislocated a hip on that mazy run.
Yeah.
And he was trying to stand on his feet because he went through it. He looked like prime, like, I don't know, Iniesta, Messi. He was unbelievable that day.
Yeah. Everyone was great. What did you think, T? What was it like to play in? Biggest crowd of the season as well, wasn't it? About 160.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was. Do you know? I enjoy games like that. So I hate going to games where you're expected to win. And actually, I think all of our lads prefer the games like where you go in there and we think it's going to be a tough game, because we have not lost yet to a team that is kind of a place, one or two places below us. We've had poor performances against mid-table teams, against teams down the bottom.
Connolly.
But we're yet, yeah, but we yet,
Callington.
Yeah.
Callington, yeah.
a poor performance against the side who, you know, people are talking about in the league. So I am really comfortable that we seem to have a team that when you're going against them top side, I haven't got to worry or wonder whether they're going to be up for it, because they all seem to be up for it. And I know they are. And I know from the change room, everyone's talking about the game from the week before, and they're not talking about it from a perspective of, oh my God, we've got Codicott. They're talking about, I can't wait to play Codicott. and we do that against the big teams. We can't wait to play them. We can't wait to play them. I felt that against every single side, and I think we played three or four sides that have been in second place when we played them, and we've gone out there and we have looked so comfortable over the 90 minutes that I just don't feel concerned ever. I feel concerned when we turn up to Caddington. It's a crap pitch. We're expected to win. Players turn up, they look at the pitch and think, oh, and I mean, we've got players that only turn up with moulds. Some of these pitches, you can't even wear moulds.
Have we really got players that only turn up with moulds?
Well, yeah, because I lent one of them. I had to lend one of them a pair of spare studs that I had. That was Leon, believe it or not. Leon turned up, only had his moulds with him.
Oh my
he knows
God,
we're in step 7, right? He knows we're in step 7, right?
Yeah. But that's the thing. Some of these players will turn up, and unfortunately, we can't turn up and play football every single week and play on a nice pitch and everything be perfect. The majority of the games for us are going to be turning up, having a battle, bit of a crap pitch, bit of a leveller. We're probably going to complain about the referee. We're probably going to complain about the linesman. We're probably going to complain about the changing room. The showers are probably going to be cold. The food's going to be shit after. And we have to deal with all that sort of stuff.
You didn't even get any, did you, at Caddington?
I don't think we did. No, we didn't get any there. So I think our lads, our lads, I mean, have played at good levels. And look, you look at someone like Leon. He's been in academy football his whole life. Turned up, probably been at the best ground, the best pitches. He probably only ever needs to wear moulds. You know what I mean? So we do have to understand, I think, as a team, there's going to be games where these players are going to be suitable, and Saturday was one of them. You play all your players that you know that are going to be up for it, that are up for the big games. They can handle the occasions. But some of them games, you're just going to need people to go in there and go into battle for you, and they're going to.
I was worried because the week before, so as you were saying, we played Caddington, and bottom of the table. They had 7 points, of which we had given them 3. And they'd done us 3-2. So going into Saturday, I was really worried. It was only when we turned up and I looked around at all our players and I was seeing the experience there. I said, "No, we've got this." It was the experience, I think, that done us.
I know during the week there was, because I talked to Rich and the management team around the strategy of how we're going to approach the game. And we looked to be able to come up with a starting 11 by Wednesday. And then we looked to put the squad out on the Wednesday or the Thursday. And we almost had 2 different starting 11s that we were going to be going with. One of them was, the middle of the park was going to be different players. And we ended up going with saying, no, let's put Casey in there. You have Casey, Jack and Josh, all experienced. And we were worried about Vinnie Clark because we were like, hold on a second. Vinnie Clark has got legs in there. They might play him in there. He ain't going to stop running. Jack Bradshaw isn't someone that gets around that pitch. Casey isn't necessarily someone that gets around that pitch. Neither is Josh. But we sat and we were like, well, do you know what? As long as we've got good shape, it doesn't matter about the running because you don't need to do the running. And those 3 players in there were so experienced that they literally it was like men against boys in the middle of the park, I think. Probably for 70 minutes of the game, I think it was like that.
I think it was.
20 minutes, they come on and we had to contend with the wind a little bit. But listen, if you're going to have 70 minutes of any game, you're going to win more than you lose.
Yeah. Have you just listen, James? Can we go straight to these goals? Have a look from Saturday.
Yeah. No worries. I want to talk about Caddington as well because you reminded me. But let's just flick.
T doesn't like talking about Caddington.
This is just a clip.
T said he never wants to play them again.
This is a clip of Jack's goal, I think.
Yeah, free kick.
I'll talk us through that, Mick.
What can you say? I put the tweet out before because he scored a free kick for us already, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And I put the tweet out to say the free kick.
Turn the audio off. Sorry.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, I was just saying I put the tweet out as he lined it up, and I'd said I put on the tweet, free kick about 25 yards out, centre of goal. It's got Bradshaw written all over it, and I just pressed send, looked up, and watched this thing fly like a bullet straight in the top corner.
It was still rising when it hit the net.
Do you know what?
I genuinely
haven't. Sorry.
I genuinely haven't seen Jack miss the target from a free kick yet for us. And I don't know if you remember, he hit one which hit the top corner, hit the stanchion.
That's right.
In pretty much exactly the same position at our home ground.
Yeah.
Literally hit it exactly the same, rifled it, and I was like, bloody hell! I literally have not seen him when he goes to hit the target. even in the second half, he worked the keeper into the wind, kept it low, made the keeper work for it. On a free kick, I mean, I think we've become a very, very dangerous side in and around the box now with Jack.
It's such a great thing to have in your locker, isn't it? Someone who can put the ball in like that. You've got some tricky players. You draw any fouls, you know, you're in with a chance there, aren't you? But he's some right peg on him.
After Jack done that, I was saying to Leon, just run at their fullback in the end. Because I'm sitting there thinking, just run it in, get a free kick. We'll work off that. Because it was working for us on Saturday.
There's no one else getting on free kicks after that, is there?
No, I think Jack's probably our free kick and probably our penalty taker, I'd say now.
I was going to say, who was the penalty taker?
Well, I think the last penalty we had, from what I remember, was at Bovingdon, and we had 2 penalties that day. Kareev scored one of them, and he missed the other penalty. But I think Jack, at most clubs that he's been on, I think Lee Allenson was telling me a stat today that I think when he was at Royston, I think he scored 26 penalties in a row or something like that. Like he didn't miss in 26 shots, something like that.
Matt Letizia,
so after that, he's on penalties.
He has to be, hasn't he? I thought you'd be on the MT. Get your celebrations going.
You can't head a penalty, can you?
I just want to say quickly, I forgot, there's a bag down there next to you, Dave. I actually got a little Christmas present for Teed and Dave before I knew you were coming, Michael. I apologise.
Did you say it was for Dave and Mick?
I could do.
There you go,
I
Mick.
wanted to be honest because T was drinking cider the other night and I didn't know he was a cider drinker. So I got some cider.
So shall I just give these to T then? Yeah,
you
can really rub salt in.
Yours. And Dave, I got some Guinness. And there's some glasses if you want to have a drink. Christmas, Happy New Year.
Thanks very much.
That's why the glasses are there in front of me.
Oh, look at that.
Sorry, I just want to interrupt with that. And I've also, while we're talking about the night out on the 30th, after the game you're talking about, Liam put this comment in, Dave.
Evening, chaps. I'd had a beer Saturday and would like to hear the story of Dave meeting his missus again. Well, get out of that, you Liam, will you? What goes on in the pub stays in the pub. Am I right?
No, it's a great story. Tell it again.
Liam with his slip-on shoes. There's more stories from Saturday than that.
And someone also said, the sausage, was you impressed with Becco's dance moves on Saturday night and the amount of women around him?
Yeah. Well, we know who the sausage is now, don't we?
No.
Becco. He unveiled himself on Saturday night.
Well, he did with me in the toilet and the young lads backing out of the toilet when he swung round and almost clobbered one of them round the face.
Is that when you knee slid after that, James, was it?
I was very excited. As Dave drunk before. But what about Becco getting pulled over by the police on the A1M?
That's right, Becco, yeah. You want to tell us about that one?
Yeah. We've got to quickly ask this one, Michael. Honest question here from Carly. Have you had your eyebrows done?
Honest question. Honest answer. About 3 weeks ago, Carly.
Have you really? Did you do that?
Liz does it.
Oh, nice. I like it.
And my bikini line.
Adam said he's a cider drinker. So
I'll go now, Adam.
And the sausage is laughing. Sorry, right. Go
Adam
back.
is our number one supporter.
Number one. He's definitely number one
Super
member,
fan.
supporter. The whole 9 yards, Adam. He's on our wiki page as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Wicked.
Looks great.
So, T, I just wanted to... we talked about Caddington there. They've only won 3 games, and 2 of them are against us. They're bottom of the table. We're top. Is it just one of those, they're our bogey team, we don't turn up when we play them?
I think the first time round when we played them, I thought that we were the better side by far, and I think it was just an unlucky day. We literally camped in their half. They got their penalty. They sat back. I think on another day we win that game comfortably. But Saturday, the week Saturday where we played them, it was a bit of a different story because we just did not turn up. And I do think, as I said, we turned up there. We expect to beat them. The pitch was crap. A lot of our players were trying to run with the ball because that's what they know. They were trying to play pretty football because, again, that's what they're used to. And it was just never a day for that. And we had players that were, looking to be able to receive the ball in the middle of the park, and players that normally got one-touch turn, they need to take 2-3 touches, stuck to those principles probably a bit too much, and allowed them to really get into the game. And it was really disappointing because they didn't even know each other's names. I heard some of their team saying, "Oh, what's his name? What's his name?" I was saying,
Ring us.
But, this is not good, lads. But I just think we ended up sticking to our principles, and I think the management team took a bit of responsibility on the day around maybe the teams that we started with and stuff like that, and who played. I think we would miss Jack in any game now if he wasn't there, and I think probably maybe what we could have done is gone with someone else that can maybe do the job that Jack does in there, instead of maybe necessarily trying to put players out there that want to play football on a pitch which is not suitable for playing football, really. But we learned, and I think we have learned from it, because the discussions we're now having after that game around team selection and what is suitable, we seem to be talking about team selection tailored to a game, which I think we have to do. Yeah. We can't go out there and say this is our team and we're always going to play that team. And we have also told the players in the squad that this is a squad game, and you might be picked for one game and you might not be picked for another one. And I think it has to be done on that basis, because we're starting to learn a bit more about all of these teams now, and we're starting to learn a bit more about all of our players, about which ones need to play in what game, what game's suitable for them. So, yeah, I think what we have done, though, is we've learned from that defeat, and now our squad selection, starting 11 selection, and even down to what substitutes we can potentially make if things aren't working for us. So the management team are now in a position where they should know before the game, well, if this isn't working, this is what we can change to, and have a couple of different ideas. So the defeat really pushed us to make some changes, really, and those changes did work, because we played three in the middle that haven't played in there before, and I thought that midfield is what controlled the game for us.
Definitely.
We weren't clinical on Saturday. We still missed a load of chances. We didn't really have too much to do at the back, but I think the midfield controlled that whole game.
Definitely. We didn't have a lot to do at the back, but we've got to talk about Sam's save.
Oh, what a save.
Like I said, he had nothing to do, and he picks that one out top corner. What a save.
That was at 2-0, was it?
That was at 2-0, yeah.
That wasn't part of me. Have you got that?
Sorry, we haven't got footage. Dave, don't roll your eyes.
That, for me, that's such a great sign, because from a goalkeeping perspective, we don't want him to have loads to do, but all we do want is when he's called up, when he's needed, he's there and we can rely on him. And he did that on Saturday. He didn't have much to do. He couldn't do much about their goal. Other than that, he wasn't really called into action. And then he's had that one shot, and he's got there. I mean, he's come flying through the air. I actually put it on slow-mo and looked through it. He literally is flying through the air to get to that.
So it looks like we've got a settled squad now, really, and I think that team on Saturday, would you think that's our best team going forward?
I think the starting 11 is starting to pick itself. But what I would say, with those attacking the front three that we've got, I feel that they could all interchange. There's going to be games where Kareev is going to be a better option than maybe Leon or maybe Archie. There may be times where Archie's a better option going up top instead of Kendall. And then you've got Josh Pikeman as well. I think there's times where you could really exploit his pace against teams. So I think the front three can be interchangeable. And I think that's where we'll probably see a bit more rotation. I think in the middle of the park, we've got that looked really, really solid, I thought, with those three. And then you've still got Charlie Hannum and Alex as well.
That's right, yeah. Now, Alex wasn't there, was he? Charlie.
No, we've got Lewis Boucher on board as well. Haven't seen enough of Lewis. Obviously, he's played 2 leagues above. But those three, in my opinion, are going to have their work cut out to fight for their place now, really.
Yeah.
With regards to those forward players, though, T, I know you see Leon, he's right-footed, isn't he? Or predominantly right-footed. And I do wonder if the management team actually speak to the players and try and get them to swap sides during the game, because I see a lot of, with Kareev as well, he's got fantastic footwork, but he's always trying to drop the shoulder and cut it inside. And after a while, the fullbacks are going to become wise to that, and they're going to show him down the inside, and it's fine. But I wonder if something like Leon, he's got bags of pace we saw against Tottenham, and you stick him out in that right flank and give him the ball, and the kid flies.
Yeah, we did. Rich did say, in fairness, with Archie and Leon before the game, he said he wants them to change as much as possible.
Yeah,
because both of them are comfortable playing on either wing. So we said, right, change as much as you want. Change as much as you want. Maybe we didn't do it as much as we should be, because, like you said, we can get a bit predictable.
Yeah.
But obviously, he does give them the license to do that as and when they want to. But maybe something from the side to signal every 5 minutes or something, just to have a little switch up. But yeah, it's something which I think we can do because we've got the luxury of having those players that can go either side.
Yeah.
My last question about Saturday was, so I was in the dressing room and at half time, Rich kind of dug his out. And I thought that was the best we've played in a long time. What did you make of that? I
didn't really notice. Maybe I just maybe it goes over my head nowadays. I come in on a high, thinking I'm going to be honest with you. I was shocked. I wasn't sure if we played really well or Codicott were worse than I thought they were going to be, and I still don't know really. Because I looked at it, and if you look at their form recently, in their last 4 games, they've lost 2, drawn 1, lost 1. Are they going for a bit of a poor patch, and we've kind of caught them at the right time? I don't know. Time will tell because we've still got to play them again. But I personally do feel we played very well in that first half, and we just controlled the game. The other thing you've got to take into account is there was a big wind. Their keeper couldn't kick the ball. He could kick it, 25 yards, whether it's from his hands or whether it's from the floor, which from Codicott's perspective makes it really tough because they just can't get up the field. So they were almost having to play so deep because they couldn't kick the ball far. They're leaving their players isolated up top. And when they did get the ball, everyone's so deep that kind of played into our hands. It might have been a different story if we started kicking against the wind in the first half. But other than the last 20 minutes, I actually felt really comfortable even kicking into the wind. Yeah. Everything was going over. Initially, was just shielding it out and just letting it go out. That was happening for the first 25 minutes. So, yeah, I don't know. But I just think our mentality going into the game was spot on. I didn't have any concerns about anyone's mentality. But the week before against Caddington, I actually heard Leon say, "Oh, this ain't the pitch for me," in the warm-up or something along those lines. He probably wasn't the only. He probably was. I heard him, but he probably wasn't the only one to say that. But Saturday, I could just tell from the warm-up, everyone was well excited about being there. They were excited about playing, and they're excited about showing the crowd and the people coming to see that we're the best side in the league.
Yeah.
Talking about the league, I'll just stick it up. My camera's gone off again, Dave, and I don't know if people really care, to be honest, but we don't need to see my face. But you said something back there, T, about we're getting to know all the teams in the league. I think there's only one team we haven't played, right, in 6th place, Pitstone and Ivanhoe United. I don't think they can catch us with their games in hand, but do you know anything about them?
Don't know anything about them. They've had some really good results, but then they've had some really poor results. One thing I have noticed is when they have played the top teams, they've always drop points. Okay. But they seem to put the teams in the bottom half of the table to bed very, very easily. But they've got quite a few games against the top teams to play as well.
Nice. A couple of questions, because I like the comments coming in from people. We'll keep them hungry if we read them out. Carly said, do we know if Alex is back this week? I know he had a bit of miscommunication, should we say, with Rich?
Yeah, I don't really know. I've left that between them. Obviously, I work with Alex and I speak to Rich. I think between them two, Alex was ill. I think he didn't communicate that he was back well. Rich didn't message him to say that he wasn't going to be in the squad due to illness. So that communication, I think, has led to some friction. Them two, which I would expect that needs to either be sorted and the decision needs to be made on whether they can work together and move forward or whether they decide to part company. But that's down to the management team and Alex. So I would expect a conversation between those two to be happening this week.
I hope so. Yeah.
Like, Alex has done great this season. I think he's top of our league for assists, isn't he? But it would help me out if he left because I can never get his name right. It's either Alex Duncan or Craig. I was like, bye, Alex.
A good egg.
I'm only messing. I love Alex.
I think Alex has had quite a few assists this season. I know he comes up and tells me how many he's had. I've never counted them. I've never looked at them, so he could be lying. But yeah, he's a good player to have on the pitch. Like you said, he's great on the ball. He's a good lad as well. So for those two sort that out.
Nice. Yeah. Do we reckon a good egg is Craig? He always comes up with interesting names, doesn't he?
A good egg. What's the question?
His question is, has Ricky played himself into midfield? Have you found your defensive lineup set?
Personally, I don't see... I mean, Casey, in my opinion, has probably only had one game where he has not played very well for us. I think other than that, he has man of the match performances when he plays for us. I think I'm sure I've seen you guys interviewing him after a game for man of the match, and I'm sure he's been mentioned about being man of the match in lots of games before. There's one game, I think, where Brandon wasn't available and Casey played right back. I think he didn't handle their defender as well as he needed to, and he didn't have a great game. But other than that, when he's played in the middle of the park, I feel more comfortable with Casey sitting in the middle of the park. He hasn't got the most amount of pace, so he can't really get exposed at the back there. But in the middle of the park, I think he's made himself undroppable at the minute.
Yeah, he's got some engine on him, hasn't he?
Yeah, for 156 or whatever he is. Yeah.
And then defensively, I think the only about the defence picking itself, there's Tamas, isn't there, who played for us on Saturday.
Yeah.
So we have to again discuss his availability longer term. We'd love to be able to have him with us.
So is he dual registered? Is he?
Yeah, he's dual registered with us, and I think West Essex he's playing for as well. But we've got options there. We've got Mengi, who's now just coming back from injury. So again, we didn't put Mengi in on Saturday because he is just coming back from injury and he hasn't been playing as much. And probably, do you want to put him in probably one of the biggest games of the season when he's just coming back from injury and probably hasn't been playing as much football as he needs to? When you've got the option of bringing Tamas in, who can play in that position, has been playing football regular, I think the right decision is go and get that result, bring Mengi in the week after, and then you can kind of ease him into it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. And it worked.
Yeah.
It did work.
To Adam there.
We don't really. I can't think once where Tamas, they got the ball off Tamas. He was getting down the wing as well. He's putting crosses in, and I think if you've got someone like that and you've got a winger or an attacker, I feel like you see them slowly losing motivation when they're sitting thinking, this guy's faster than me. He's winning headers against me. I've got to chase him back now as well. And both him and Carter at fullbacks both do that really well because they don't let anyone get past them. Sometimes I see someone going past Carter and I'm thinking, oh, he's in trouble here. He always gets there.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking, you literally, he's like, I can see the motivation literally zapping from those attackers. And I did feel on Saturday, they almost felt like, oh, what's the point? And, because I play against players up there that don't give up. They'll work for 90 minutes. They'll leave a foot in. They'll leave a tackle in. I felt that the Codicott forwards, granted, it was a great finish. And from what I understand, that lad, Liam Hayden, he only needs one chance and he puts it away. And he showed that. But he didn't cause constant threat to us. He was very quick. But he just didn't seem like we kind of killed their confidence, I think, quite early on.
Yeah.
He's the league's top goal scorer.
Yeah.
Liam Hayden.
Got 17 or 18 goals, hasn't he, I think?
Yeah. His dad didn't like you, T.
Oh, no, I didn't expect him to. Listen, if I was marking his son, if I was marking someone's son, I wouldn't like me either. Yeah, no, I did hear some abuse. But the funny thing was, I said to him, who's that on the side? He went to ask my dad, and he was like, shut up, Dad.
Yeah.
Shut up, Dad, he'll kill me.
I did hear him say, don't give him a breather, he's old. And then Liam looked round at you as like, oh, leave it out, Dad.
He was. There's a few things.
The lad was broken.
It was almost like he was embarrassed. He was like, oh, shut up, Dad.
He did look scared, didn't he?
A good player, though.
Yeah, he was decent.
Listen,
we got
one chance.
Go on.
So, yeah.
I was just going to say, we've got a good question here from Sue. I just want to point out, this always happens. We've been chatting for 40 minutes already, pretty much about one subject, the Codicott game.
Yeah.
And the title of this was Review 2023.
That was a big game. What a game.
So Sue's stuck in a great question, which I think you should each answer, which is best AFC Welwyn moment for you of 23. Ooh. Is anyone ready with one straight away?
Go on.
I've got mine. Mine's got to be the first game of the season against MK Irish. And the reason being is there was such a long period of like, oh my God, we're setting up a football club. Is it going to work? We're going to do all the video. Then speaking to James about what we're going to do and how we're going to do it. And then, just even, the whole thing, building up pre-season, playing against teams, wondering how good we are. And then we go out on our first game against a team that people suggested on chat rooms were going to win the league. And we go out and we beat them 8-1. And I thought, what a way to arrive on the scene. And that, for me, was a massive, everything just went to plan. Everyone scored the goals. We made it look easy. And after that day, I literally think everyone was like, AFC Welwyn have arrived on the map. and that was a great kind of start to our life, and it felt really good.
Yeah, that was my number two. That was my number two as well.
Your number two?
Yeah, well, that was my number two. It would have been my number one, but I would say on Saturday's game was such a big game, and just the way we turned up and we were just so professional and just brothers. That goal, just everything about Saturday. I just thought we were fantastic. How we held ourselves.
I'm just showing the MK Irish goals, by the way.
Yeah. But I think we had some loads of great moments. It's hard to pick really, but I think for Saturday that was my own.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue either of those two. I think just for something different, I would the 3-3 against Tottenham.
I love that.
We were down to 10 men. The weather was shocking, and I thought, I can't remember how the goals went. I think we went 1-0 up, didn't we? Jason Beck was first 20 minutes was unbelievable. He was like the player of the season, player of the match, wasn't he? Without a shadow of a doubt. And then within 2 minutes, gets himself a red card.
Yeah.
And then with backs to the wall, I'm thinking, this is going to be a long... I think I actually tweeted this could be a long afternoon now.
Yeah.
Tottenham's towels are up, and it was just a crazy game. I think we held it out to half-time, 1-0, I think. And they come out in, I think, 46 minutes. Like, very early they scored and made it 1-0. I thought, oh no, 10 men, 1-0.
Yeah.
And to give away that last goal for them to make it 3-3, I was gutted. But at the same time, you'd have taken 3-3 at the red card. And even the way they cheered at 3-3 and their random man with a dog sabotaging the GoPros. It was just
getting sent off when he went into the crowd.
Yeah, in the crowd with his top off about 25 minutes. But that game had everything.
And Becco, because Becco's watching, the GoPro footage that I saw of him checking out his ball patch was the highlight for me as well. Sorry, Becco, I had to say
it. I was watching the Tottenham match online, wasn't I? Because I wasn't there, I was on holiday at the time. And I would say that's the most nail-biting watch for me, because I was watching that game, and then I'm watching his goal go in, then Leon scored one, and I'm sitting there thinking, cool. And I could see the crowd, how rowdy they were. I could see how on edge you guys were. And it was end-to-end. We were attacking, they were attacking. The weather was crap. Literally, I was sitting there thinking, normally, what should be happening? Everyone should be looking miserable. It's wet. It's cold. No one should want to be there. No one cared. It was like, this is like, this game is on.
It was crazy.
That was the best game.
I actually got to a point. I got to a point, I think it was about 15 minutes left, and I forgot I was commentating. I was just staring at the pitch.
When you had a stroke, it was unbelievable. That game.
Literally, I felt like I've been commentating for about 4 days. I was just done, and there was so long left.
I could even hear when I was watching. I could hear their bench giving you abuse. I could hear James having a go at them, and them saying, "We don't care about your cameras." It was just a hostile environment. It was just a hostile environment, wasn't it? But,
it was. Literally, Georgie was sat next to me, and every time I shouted something, she was like, "James, shut up!" And Sue was outside. We were all huddled.
Just said to James into them, or Sue into them, get into them.
But Dougie was giving them grief their end as well. I had to comment on a GoPro about village idiots. I don't know if it was Dougie or Becco, but one of them did.
Yeah.
It was
funny.
Becco. I'd say that was mine as well, the Tottenham game, just from the sheer atmosphere of the game. That was my most enjoyable one.
But the first game as well was amazing.
Yeah. Just going back to the comments.
I think they suggested Tottenham, didn't they? You know, we're supposed to play them recently and got called off. Yeah. I think they were suggesting on social media that we bottled it. So that will be quite an interesting game as well. Because
has that been rearranged yet?
No, I don't think it has. But Ryan Hagler is over there, and Tom Jones, who we know quite well, is over there, and they're good guys. But I think because Ryan is our ex-assistant manager, there's just a little bit of extra kind of rivalry there. Ryan was there Saturday. He was supporting us. He really wanted us to win, so that was really nice for him to come along.
I was talking to him.
He was scouting for the return game. He's worried. He's worried already.
Did you see Jason
scouting?
Yeah, but I think that game, that's going to be another one where there's going to be a bit of rivalry in that game, I think.
Yeah.
Even next Saturday's game, there'll be a bit of rivalry as well, won't there?
We've got Bradwell's, 2 Bradwells in a row, haven't we?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Old Bradwell. Very much looking forward to Old Bradwell. I didn't unfortunately get to play in the first game, so I was just a spectator from the side.
That was a tasty game as well, wasn't it?
They were noisy.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good game. I think obviously they're probably the team that I get the most amount of abuse from online and on the day. I had all sorts of shouts from them. So from my point of view, I want to put a performance against them like we did against Collycott.
Yeah.
I watched that game on VO and I could hear their management team and their fans behind our dugout, and they were disgraceful, I thought. So I can't wait to see them on Saturday.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it as well.
They were disgusting.
Yeah.
I was just trying to find. Sorry, I messed up here. Oh, this is when Tottenham equalised. Because you were talking about that, I've been trying to find it for 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
So I thought, as I found it,
Was it for
I'll still
the
play
GoPro
it.
damage?
That doesn't show how bad the weather was.
What was it they were shouting at Bully? He's a highlighter.
Yeah.
Bully got lots of abuse in the second.
He did.
I thought I'd found the equaliser. Sorry, guys.
That
Guys,
was Kendall's goal.
Gives us a couple of beers and offends us, look.
Jesus Christ. I can't speak. Look at Bully celebrating. That was funny. That was a moment.
He did give him a bit, didn't he? He was getting a load of stick from them, to be fair.
This is their equaliser. Here we go.
There's the keeper.
Oh, it was a keeper, wasn't it?
Can't
Oh,
stand
God,
that
yeah.
keeper.
He was a big
That was
lump
well
and
out
all.
by Kendall. But I think, look at this. Kendall should have cleared this. I said this to him afterwards.
Look at that. Scrappy.
Kendall had a swing at that.
Look at the celebration, though. Guy with a dog.
We had
Guy
a,
with
we
his
had a
dog,
bit
over he
of a-
comes.
Here he comes up.
I think we had a bit of a makeshift back four at that point, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because Charlie had to end up going at the playing at the back. He's not a natural centre half. Then we had, and I think we had
Alex,
Sam
was it?
Lamore, who was injured, I think, at that point in time, because he tried to come off the pitch about 3 times, but he just had to stay on the pitch. So we were kind of a bit walking wounded at that point and having players playing out of position. So I'd like to think, I think if that was our normal back four that we've got now, me, Ishii at the back, we like winning our headers, like winning our tackles, we like games like that. I actually think we could have had a different result from that game.
Yeah.
That's why we're down to 9 men, because Alex got the sin bin as well.
A 10-minute sin bin, and I swear it went on for about 15 minutes.
It was at least, it was about 18, I think,
Yeah.
at the time, didn't we?
I've heard him moaning at work today. Today he's like, I've had a match suspension come through. I was like, what's that for? He went, apparently 5 yellows. Well, I haven't got 5 yellows. He was like, apparently sin bins count. So he's fuming today. That
Oh,
he's
do they? Well, if he's fuming, he must be coming back.
Carly asked
He'll be back.
a similar question. I think we kind of covered that. What's your favourite game so far?
Yeah.
That was kind of what our favourite
The
thing of
battle
the
of,
season.
what did we call it? The
Battle of Tottenham. Yeah. Good Egger said, start of the season, there seemed to be 2 main scorers. I guess he's referring to Charlie and Kendall from the start of the season. Is there a good spread of threat across the team now? I think there is my quick answer to that.
I had a look at that the other day, because the funny thing is, if you look at our league, the league above and the league above that, the teams that are sitting at top all seem to have the top scorers of the league in their team, but we don't have that at this moment in time. So a lot of our spread of goals.
Give it time.
I mean,
Kendall's up there, though, isn't he?
Kendall
Kendall's
scored,
it.
didn't he?
We scored the most amount of goals in the league. So that's positive, but it seems like our goals aren't relying on one person, which, from my point of view, is much better.
Yeah.
So,
And
Definitely.
even with Charlie, to be fair, he got 5 in the first game, didn't he? So
Five in the fourth, I think 3 in the second.
Yeah, 5
Yeah.
in one, 3 in another. So, yeah, if you can spread goals across your team, it just shows the strength you've got in depth.
Have you got 2, T, haven't you?
Oh, let's find T celebration.
Get the celebrations out.
Dara's got a question, and I'll find their T celebration while you're answering that one.
It was going to be the hardest match in the second half of the season.
well,
Cool.
I think probably regardless of whatever happens now, like in terms of what teams are in second, third, fourth, I think probably Tottenham is going to be our toughest match because of the rivalry. I just think, you get extra little bit of needle in that game because they're our ex-managers. They're going to want to go and prove that, that management team is better than the management team we've got. Players are going to kind of know each other because they've got Charlie up front. So I think with all of that, it makes it a massive game, regardless of where they are in the league.
Yeah.
We could end up going on a massive run, being 10 points clear, playing against Collycott. It might mean nothing. You know what I mean? So, but regardless of when we play Tottenham, that's going to be a big match, just because of how close we are in terms of the people we know there.
What are you looking for, Mick?
I mean, we haven't played Pittston yet, but for me, you can't look past Codicott, Tottenham, and even old Bradwell, because that was such a tough game. And
I can't wait to get that.
But if the boys can play, say like they played on Saturday, but if they keep their heads the way they did Saturday, that's half of old Bradwell's battle lost, because they were trying to get into players from the first minute in that game, trying to wind players up, get players sent off, and then once they realised it wasn't going to happen, They didn't really have anything left. So if we can go into that game against them with a clear head and composed, put our foot on the ball, we should blow them away, I think. But you just don't know on the day.
Any update on the pitch for Saturday?
Where?
I think it's, well, at this point in time, I mean, obviously you saw the weather yesterday, didn't you? It's horrendous. And I think we're scheduled for a bit more rain tomorrow, which if the game was scheduled for tomorrow, it will be off. The problem we've now got is there's more rain tomorrow. I think there's some discussions around some stuff that needs to be done to it. I think it needs to be aerated. I think where they kind of put spikes down into it, kind of drain some of the water. Just seems to be holding a lot of water this year. I mean, that Welwyn Garden City had a game and it on Monday called off. So it's not just affecting us, it's affecting Welwyn Garden City as well, which might mean that we have to end up playing a lot of Saturday, Tuesdays towards the back end of the season.
Tuesday nights?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I actually don't want to. I think I was looking at. I think we've got 14 games to play, and I think there's like 15 Saturdays right between now and the end of April. So it's not that we've got a massive backlog at this point in time. So it's not kind of like we're going to have to play 3 games a week or anything like that. But it looks like we might get a few of those more Tuesday nights under the lights.
Yeah, love that.
Can't beat a Tuesday night.
Yeah.
I can't find your goal, T. I'm really sorry. I can't remember when you scored. I'm still looking.
T probably has on his phone there. Hold it up.
I'll leave it playing.
T's got it running on a loop already on the main TV.
Yeah. I'll WhatsApp it to you now, James.
I'm not going to try and read this name out because I'm pretty sure one of my highlights of 2023 was also Dave getting absolutely murdered on funny names. What game was that against?
Hey, don't drag me into this.
Eileen Ulick and who else? There was a few. I don't want to say this one. There's something in this name, isn't there? Unless I'm being really offensive to someone who's genuine name. Yeah. So, but who? What players exceeded your expectations the most this year? We'll ask each of you that. Michael.
So it's interesting because I tell you, if we're talking 5 or 6 games in, I would have said Mengi.
Yeah.
Because he literally came there and that he made that left back position his own. And it's quite interesting that. Now Carter's made that left back position his own, and you'd be thinking if we were sitting here, like I said, first 5 games, and I said to you, Mengi will struggle to get in at left back, you'd be thinking, what are you talking about?
No.
Now, look at Carter playing in that position. Mengi will struggle to get into that position. He might now have a new opening, sitting in at right back with Brandon not being available. But I think Mengi at the start of the season, I think another player that I've been really pleased with, that I feel has really changed his game and adapted, and we miss him when he's not necessarily having his best game, is Kendall, because he's gone and held that ball up for us really well, has been quite unselfish around goal scoring, played that number 9 role quite well. I remember when we started training in pre-season and we'd done a little drill where it was kind of defence versus attack, and the ball would come into his feet and I would literally just kind of barge him out of the way, nick it every single time, and he wasn't holding the ball up. And I think him and Josh Grantham had a little bit of a dig at each other, and there was an argument in training, and Josh was like, you can't even hold the ball up, and they had an argument with each other, put it to bed after, we're good mates after it, and after that game, it's almost like Kendall for F you, I'll fucking show you how to hold a football up. And since then, he's done a real good job there, and he scored the goals, and he's playing football with a smile on his face. He looks like he enjoys it.
I love Kendall, yeah.
He's not really. And then another one that I'd say as well, like I said, he's not really had a bad game for us, is Casey, because some players have come to us with a lot of expectation, and if they have a good game, you're like, oh well, he should have a good game, like Leon Okaboyja, if he has a bad game, we're like, oh my god, Leon's had a bad game, whereas with Casey, we laugh and joke, we're like, oh, he's so old, and he turns up and he's got them dodgy toenails, he's got the dodgy curtains, he kind of, there's
shit ankles,
so many things not going for him, but then when he gets in that football pitch, he proves everyone wrong, doesn't he?
Yeah. I mean, it's difficult to say who's exceeded it because I obviously didn't know anybody coming into it. But again, after the game, who was it we played when it all went a bit belly up and there was arguments and Carter...
New Bradwell.
Was it the New Bradwell one? So when Carter walked off... what was that game?
Carter walked off.
Not off the pitch, but after... What was the game when you walked off at half-time, T?
Oh, it was New Bradwell.
Was that New Bradwell?
Third game in the season.
And after that, I thought... At the end of the game, when I saw Carter leaving, I thought, if he comes back, I'll be amazed.
Yeah.
But to come back in and, like you say, he's made that position his own. He looks such an unassuming player when you see him walking onto the pitch. But as we've seen against the toughest game, effectively we had on Saturday, He's been unbelievable.
He
put in
attracts
so
a
many
lot of challenges, doesn't he?
he loves a little squeal up when he gets hit in
He
a tackle.
does, but I never. If I have to see Carter going into a challenge, even if he's rolling around on the floor, I know that he's just trying to milk it. I know he's just trying to make the most of it and make sure that we're going to get the free kick. But, he's quite clever in that way, that he will make sure that we get the maximum out of the bad challenge, and he'll make sure that the referee has to think about that next decision.
You're watching this too?
I'm watching it. Very rarely is Carter hurt.
Oh, get in now!
What a big team. For the cameras, look.
Look at that. Love that.
Come on, men.
I was knackered after that run. I actually
funny.
ran over and I was like, "It sub me, I'm fucked."
Is that you told Best to get the game abandoned, didn't you? After that,
Take him.
I'd
say
we answered that one. Didn't
So
we?
to pick a different player, I would say I love watching Ishii play. Ishii just is fantastic. And when he left, I was devastated. And for you as well, T, because you and him compliment him. There's an awful thing on this. You just compliment each other so well with his pace and that, but he doesn't miss anything, Ishii. I think it's great to have him back.
I'll be honest with you. I think Ishii complements any centre half well.
Brilliant.
He's quick. He wins everything in the air. He ain't scared of a tackle. He's committed. He's got determination. Everything you want from a centre half. He can strike a ball really well, and he just doesn't want to lose a game of football. And like I said, I think he can play with anyone. He's when he went, I felt that was a big loss.
Yeah.
He really wanted to be at the club as well, but he just didn't think things were right at that point in time. Since he's come back, he's again playing with a smile on his face, looks really, really happy.
He does. He seems happy, doesn't he?
Yeah, really does seem happy.
Yeah.
The other game we haven't mentioned that we lost was Bovingdon.
Oh yeah,
And
what was
the
that
only
3-2?
I just brought that up is because they were giving me, or one of them was giving me abuse on TikTok Live last night. He was going, "Why are you ignoring the Bovingdon Massive comments?" 2 reasons. One, I've never heard of the Bovingdon Massive. And 2, I think
I've heard of the Bovril Massive.
Yeah, Bovril Massive, yeah. And 2, I think they were being abusive because we kept getting things saying some comments have gone against community guidelines. So I think they were just abusing me or AFC Welwyn. But we lost 3-2 against them, didn't we? What happened in that one?
That one, our whole
That's Becco's
squad
fault, wasn't it?
That's our whole
Becco turned up pissed.
Bar Becco, I mean, there was COVID going around. Some people just recovering from COVID. I was ill. There was about another 4 or 5 players that had been ill that whole week. We turned up. Becco turned up. I think he was still pissed when he got there. He was seeing 2 footballs, I think, but missing both of them at that point in time. Which one to go for? But again, you look at that game. We've got in the background that preparation wasn't perfect because there was a bit of illness within the squad. But again, we've missed a penalty to go and win it. Then we felt that we wanted to go and win it, so we had pushed up so high. I think me and Becco were still in the penalty area, the attacking team's penalty area when the goal was scored, and we were kind of chasing back. That was for our eagerness to not want to drop points because we wanted to get 3 points rather than just the 1. But then that ended up biting us in the arse, really. And I think what we should have ended up doing was just kind of stick with draw if we had to take the draw, and maybe come away and thought, you know what, our squad's a bit ill today. We haven't played our best, but we haven't lost. And I think that we should have probably gone out with that mentality rather than chasing and being a little bit desperate, which we were in that game in the end.
Yeah. But then how much do you think that comes down to people or players feeling pressure because of what we're trying to do and everyone thinking we should be blowing these teams away, that the boys just wanted to go and push for the 3 rather than risk sitting back and taking 1?
Well, my philosophy is a draw, you get 1 point for it. So it can hurt you as much as a loss anyway. You see a load of these teams in our league already have had a load of draws, and you can see they're struggling to pick up those points. And from my point of view, if we didn't have the quality in the team to go out there and make a difference and have an impact, or them players that have got them special moments, then you might sit back like Caddington and say, "Oh, do you know what? Yeah, I'll take the draw, and we'll just sit back and see if we can win a game on a counter attack." But I think coupled with what the expectation from us as a squad and a team this year, coupled with the ability that we have in the teams, and coupled with the belief from those players, believing that, you know, they can go and do something special, I think you're always going to find that we're going to be the team that wants to go on and try and get the win, you know, to the detriment of actually getting draw sometimes. And I think it's difficult to get us to change that mentality.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing, though, is it? I suppose.
Yeah. And do you know what? I'm just looking at that there. I think there's 8 players playing on that clip that we watched that didn't even start on Saturday.
Is that true?
Looking at it there, there's definitely 7. But who was in goal? Was it Bully or was it Sam?
That was bullying, that one, I think.
Sam was in goal that day.
Sam's in goal. But you had Tai Su in this game, didn't you? He got injured in this game, didn't
Was
he?
this the one he got the bad
injury?
The bad injury, yeah.
You got
I
Alex.
Brandon,
Alex
Vinny, Alex,
Becco,
Becco,
Charlie Hannum.
Kareev didn't start. No,
Yeah.
Charlie Hannum was off the bench in that game. In fact, you know who else got a little run out in this game? Liam Errington.
That's right.
Yeah.
Limo.
The hare
Shout
himself.
out.
The pony.
Yeah. In our management team group chat that we have every week, where we discuss about different
There's
formations,
their goal.
different squads. Liam always puts himself in every single squad.
Good gas. What age is he? He's 43 or something, is he?
44, I think, yeah.
43, 44. But Liam's still fit. And the funny thing with Liam, like, you sit there and think, oh, he hasn't got any pace or anything like that. Liam's never had pace. He's never had pace. He's always played like that. There's probably going to be the odd game where, you know, Liam can be useful, where, you know, his experience and his ability to be able to keep the shape and just play things simple when we need to might actually be useful for us.
Well, T, don't play him in the game that we're playing in now.
Maybe,
We need pace around us.
He might make us look quick.
We're hoping for us 3 up front against Connecticut last game of the season.
What is the last game of the season? Get me on there.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're going to do everything we can so we can make sure the fans can see it that day. Maybe we could have, maybe we could do a little competition, and you know, some of the other people, the fans, could actually sign on for that day and play in the
Adam
game.
Sparshot.
Adam Sparshaw.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
Get him in.
If it doesn't result in us in having any impact on us winning the league or finishing where we need to finish, maybe we
What
could
are
have
you
a little
saying?
competition to find someone on for the day.
Do you know, I'd like to see Craig, the body coach.
Oh, killer.
See him
Yes.
running up and down the wing.
Yeah.
Body techniques.
Behind the scenes 11. Big Subo centre half.
Carly agreed with you, by the way, about favourite match, and Carter as well. Lisa with a comment. Definitely Carter, since he's played at left back, he's been outstanding.
Yeah.
We love you, Carts. Me and James thought we were going to get our heads kicked in at the Tottenham. Actually, we did. I was a bit scared. New Bradwell was Lisa's favourite. I just read that without
Was it really?
realising. Yeah. It wasn't Tahid.
Lisa's on fire again tonight.
Are you looking forward to marking Charlie, Tahid, against Tottenham?
Yeah, I always like games and maybe playing against people where there's that added bit of kind of pressure. So, yeah, I'll look forward to that. I'm sure me and him had a bit of a laugh. And the positive thing is, normally when I played with him, he would moan at me. The positive thing is when I play against him, he's me moaning at his other teammates.
That's right, yeah.
That's true. Adam said Connecticut last game of the season. We kind of talked about that, didn't we? If the title comes down to it.
Right up front for that.
The title's not coming.
Yeah,
We're playing that game. Adam, you're on the wing.
Yeah.
Us 3 up front.
Yeah, if it does come down to that game at the end of the season, then that is going to, like I said, I think we rise to the occasion on when we have to. So if that is so be it, if that is what we need to go and do, I'm confident that we can go and do it.
That would be massive because only one team goes up, doesn't it?
I think only one team goes up, yeah.
That's mad.
Yeah, it's a shame because I actually really like Connecticut, and I'm almost like a bit of a supporter of theirs. And I always, you know, if we didn't have AFC Welwyn, that's the club that I would love to be able to get promoted and play against them again next year.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that I've been in terms of rivalries, but even after the game, all their lads were great. Their management team is great as well. They were complimentary about us after. You know, they don't seem to be bitter about what we're doing. You know, they want to beat us. They want to finish above us, but there don't seem to be any kind of jealousy or anything about what we're doing. Really, seem to be quite positive about it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Good Egg said, how are you going to kill the Caddington jinx? But we haven't got to play him again, right? And hopefully we'll never have to play him again. But,
Yeah, Klopp, if we end up going up and then, we get him in a cup game, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to forfeit the game.
he said parking the bus like they do. But to be fair, they didn't park the bus in the last game, did they? They played a good game. They played their game. Lisa's asked for a run out against Connecticut as well. She's the most agile winger you'll ever see.
She'd be the pace.
It's all the media team, all the sponsors. Carly agreed. Sue wants to ref.
Oh, no. Sue wasn't reffing. She reffed one of the last games we were in, and she was awful. Only thing I could... She definitely cheated. Every time I made a tackle, she blew the whistle against me.
See, we were playing a team of under 15 scales. You were going in 2-footed.
Listen, I've only got one style, Dave, unfortunately.
Opposition's in front of it, doesn't matter who they are, what age they are.
Exactly. Listen, when them girls went on the pitch, as far as I was concerned, they were our enemies.
Doesn't matter that you live with one of them.
Not at all, no, not at all.
Michael agrees. He thinks the league will be over by that last game. Let's bloody hope so.
Nice to see you, Michael.
Yeah, welcome, Mike. Back. I'm saying Mike. Michaels don't always like being called that, do they?
Sorry, Mick. That's all right.
Mick.
That's the end of the comments. We've been just over an hour, but I know you're on a bit of a time limit tonight, Dave. Are you okay?
I've got the in-laws coming down from Scotland. Let them pick up at the train station. We've got a few more minutes.
A few more minutes.
What he means is he wants to catch the end of the darts.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Any other games you want to talk about coming up? Ones we've had.
What have you got coming up, fixture-wise? Have you got it on your phone?
Old Bradwell is Saturday, and then New Bradwell the week after. Are they associated with each other, are they?
No, they're in the same village, opposite ends.
No.
I don't think there's any association. I think the next 4 games will be really big for us because they're against other teams that, Pitstone we haven't played against. The Old Bradwell, we've got a bit of rivalry with them. So I think they're going to be really, really big matches. And I think in 4 games' time, the league table could look very different. But if we get results in these next 4 games, I think it's good. Connecticut have got to play against Bovingdon, who are the informed team in the league. They've won their last 6 out of 6, looking really, really strong. So they've got some tough games ahead of them as well.
Who've won that 6 out of 6? Bovingdon.
Bovingdon, yeah, they're the informed team in the league at the minute. So the good
That's
thing
why
is
he was saying the Bovingdon are massive then.
Yeah, they look good. They're looking good. So they've had a bit of a turn of fortune because they were down the bottom of the table at the start of the season.
Yeah. We've got a Tuesday night game coming up if it goes ahead as well, haven't we, at the end of this month in the Cup?
Yes, we have, yeah. It's under line. Not sure they'll play against us.
No, let's not go into that.
That's for Sky News.
Mute T, quick.
Hold on, should we change the top?
Hang on. There's some more comments come flying in.
Get them in.
I know. Hang on, I've got to go back.
The media team are very excited about getting a game.
T got taken out fully by a 14-year-old, Lisa said. Going back to that game you were talking about.
I definitely did, yeah.
Lisa wants media team against first team. No, I don't want that.
There's only about 6 of us, Carly.
5 aside. I used to play goal.
I'll tell you what we have done. It could be quite interesting if people might be coming down interested to watch this, and also give our development team a bit of an understanding of where they're at in terms of levels. But because we used because we didn't use Welwyn City's pitch against Connecticut, I've agreed with the guys that we rent the pitch off that we've got a spare game, and they're going to allow us to use it once the pitch gets better, so we can use it to play against our development. So once the weather starts getting a bit better, rather than having training on a Tuesday and a Thursday, what we'll probably do is we'll actually use the pitch on a Wednesday night. We'll have first team against development and just see what the gap is between those two.
It's a great idea.
That'd be good. Because I was talking to Cookie last week, and he says there's 2 or 3 fellas knocking on the door.
Yeah, I think Joe Ashton is doing really well from what I've heard. Will McNeil's doing pretty well from what I've heard as well. Obviously, you've got Josh Pikerman, who sometimes goes and plays for them, then obviously comes with us as well on the first team that does well when he comes on. So there's definitely talent in there that is going to be the future of AFC Welwyn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe was training last night, training with Sam. It was good to see him because he scored, saved a penalty for their victory the other week. Didn't he looked really sharp.
I heard he's a great keeper, but is he only 16 or something? Is he?
Yeah. Sue would love to watch a game between the Bradwells. Said they'll kill each other. They've been playing each other for years, though, right? Because neither of them can get promoted even if they win the league because of their grounds. No. I don't know why they bother. Join a Sunday league.
I don't get it, really. I just feel like, you do this level of competition because you want to progress. Because if you don't want to progress, like James said, why don't you go and smash it up in Sunday League? You'll still finish top. You ain't going to go nowhere. You're still playing on that crappy pitch that you're playing on. You may as well not bother. You know what I mean? So
we get some abuse in the comments tonight. I love it. Georgie said how many games left? It's I think looking at this is all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, is there more? They might not all be on it.
14. So Tottenham's not in there, as you can see. There's a few other games in there that haven't been rescheduled yet.
Oh, okay. Do we play until the end of April or into May?
Yeah, we might play into May, depending. But yeah, I think probably up until last week in April, early part of May.
Oh, actually, yeah. Looking at this, there's only one game in March, so we'll probably get some in there, won't we? Yeah.
So you've been happy so far, T, with how it's been going?
It's been highs and lows. I think I put something up the other day just saying it's been highs and lows, but I would say the highs definitely outweigh the lows. So much like stress and pressure. I mean, we were playing on Saturday, and I like to be able to mentally prepare for a game, but actually I'm thinking about getting everyone there, about getting to the game early, making sure that we understand that we're at new ground and where's the turnstiles and getting into you've got so many more things that you need to think about, and that is quite stressful. This week we're sorting out things as well behind the scenes, me and Lisa, that we're looking at. We've currently as well now started to see if we can find our own ground, because we've only got a ground share agreement for 3 years. So there's loads of things that are going on in the background, which we're not going to see a return on our investment of our time for probably a year, 2 years, 3 years. And there's obviously a lot of money that goes into it as well. But we're at that point now where there's no turning back, we're in it now. And
for the long haul, there's not.
Yeah, no, exactly. So there does come a little bit of pressure with that. But I enjoy it. And when we go out and we win on a Saturday, and people probably think, I let teams have it sometimes when we beat them. Sometimes I go on social media and let them have it. Well, sometimes when they're letting me have it, sometimes that is just me, my whole excitement and pressure release from the whole week of how much I've got to do for us to keep it up and running and stuff like that. And then, actually I'm going to celebrate a little bit more than your average player, because it's trust me, I haven't just had to pay £5 subs this week. That's not the limit of my investment. I think Saturday cost us, if you take into account all the costs, we had to pay £450 for the ground on Saturday, £150 for the officials. We obviously had food that we had to do after. We've obviously got a media production team there as well. You've got all the sorts of things. So, you could probably say that game probably cost £700 put on. So
big money, isn't it?
A few people that were moaning about us saying that we're going to charge £7.50. Well, look, our intention is not to charge £7.50. Our intention was to charge £5. But what we were hoping we could do is support our journey in growing our YouTube subscribers. Some people wanted to have a dig about that. But actually, the alternative, that game would have been called off. No one would have been able to see top of the table clash. No one would have had that game to go to on a Saturday. We'd be none the wiser about what teams potentially are going to be finishing in the top. I actually feel like it was a really, really good advert for the league. We had league officials coming down there. Everyone wanted to see it. So the alternative is we don't make it happen. We'll stay at our home ground. And actually, what do? We'll take on that extra cost, and we'll look to be able to make that money back. And hopefully it doesn't cost us money. So we made that decision. And I'd like to think some people can say, I can understand why they're charging that this week. Even though we didn't, it was still £5 if you were subscribed. But I know some people wanted to have a dig about us doing that. But no one wants to say
on Twitter, wanting to argue with those people, but you just have to stop yourself, don't you? Because
be there a week.
Sue was on the gate and she said some people wouldn't subscribe. They said, I'm not subscribing
I'd rather pay
£7.50.
There you go.
No,
that's your choice. But that's your choice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I did not
ridiculous.
know that.
I think it was just
from the
the
other side, though. None of our fans.
yeah.
Did
And I
I?
think it was
Yeah,
just the
I-
Bradwells that were trying to get a bite. They got a bite from me. They actually put like the fishing rod thing when I bit. But whatever.
Where did they put that, James? I didn't see that.
He said something about the £7.50, and I did bite,
Yeah.
and they said something, and I put a
cried.
woman in reply with the money.
He cried.
I cried. Yeah, I went to bed early. Mike Wishon said, club seems to be really happy and settled now.
Yeah, definitely.
It's taken
I
a
think
while,
so.
but it has, isn't it?
Yeah. Make sure we don't make sure when you unhandcuff James, yeah, like don't give him too much food and water. But no, you know what?
We're going to kick his head.
I think I've said before that there's always teething problems whenever you're setting anything new up. We're bringing a large group of people together on the football field and off the football field. You know, learning how everyone works. Trying to make life easier for ourselves. You know, in terms of how we're setting up. You know, did I ever think that, like, when we first set this up, James, in terms of the video side of things, I'm sitting there thinking, bloody hell, if James isn't here with all this kit and everything here, we're never going to be able to video a game and produce content if James isn't available. Now, you probably feel a little bit more comfortable, James. Actually, if you need to be away, you know that Carly can manage that now, if she really has to. You know,
Well,
And we can
I'm
do it. We
actually
can do it with a
worried.
pen and paper.
Yeah, crayons. James is devastated to hear that.
I'm actually worried about the chat in the pub. Seeing what Ollie Sims did with his phone, I think I'm getting sacked in a few weeks now.
Oh yeah, you were getting a bit of a fix,
Brilliant.
wouldn't you? Look how quickly his highlights are out there, amazing. Yeah.
I was like, I don't do the editing anymore. It's not me. I don't do it.
We're still waiting for the Luton 61 game to go out. The first one.
It's just because you promise whilst we're live commentating, it'll be out by 5 o'clock. It's like,
I didn't say what day.
Well, on that note, a good egg is a very good egg. He says the media has been amazing. So thank you, Craig. I love you too.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, Craig. Is that Craig?
It's got to be in it. What does he say there? James, baseball cap. Are you unwell? Yeah. It's either that or my really bad hair, mate.
What's Dara's comment?
Dara says in a couple of years' time, when you get a bigger fan base, do you think you'll have the same views as like Walton and Hersham or another YouTube team? Well, on that note, I think we spoke to
We
Walton
went to
and
see
Hersham,
them,
didn't we?
yeah.
But I looked at their YouTube when they first started, and they got a mini series on a bunch of amateurs, 4 games, and all of those had over 50,000 views. So I think that's what really bolstered them. But obviously, they're also a group of 6 university students, aren't they? They're going to have lots of friends. They know about social media. They're all on social media. So I think they had a bit of a head start. But I think,
I think
we're going to get there.
I think the other thing from their point of view, they're at a high level, has a little bit more exposure. When you go to play against certain teams at that level, they're going to have a big fan base. They're going to want to watch it back. So you kind of, we're starting at step 7. We're starting right at the bottom. So I think, our journey in 2 or 3 years might be quite exciting for someone to follow and, see where we kind of got to. And, that's that team that started 3 years ago that said they were going to get to the Football League and, they've got 3 promotions 3 years. That I think can probably become quite interesting. Right now, everyone thinks it's a bit of a pipe dream and, every club says they're going to do this. And, we've got a bit of social media attached to it. But I think we really have to be securing promotion this season. And I think once we secure promotion this season, I think that will then, will be a part of, non-league football officially, I think, at that point. We've gone out and achieved what we said we're going to do. And I'd like to think people start to take notice of us at that point and realise we're here to stick around. I think Real Bedford, it took them a little bit of time for people to realise actually they're the real deal. They're here to stay. They saw someone putting a load of money into it and they're like, you can't buy football, you can't win leagues. They've gone and won the last 3 leagues. They're now top of their league they're at the minute. And I hear a lot of people want to put them down. Like I heard the other day, and I'm not sure if this is true, but if they get promoted this year, if they win promotion this year, they're not going to be able to go up because one of the other Bedford football clubs that is next door to them isn't going to allow, as opposed some of the building work that needs to go on for them to be able to improve go up.
That sucks.
They could end up winning promotion, but that for me is
jealousy.
Is pure. That's pure jealousy. And I think we will naturally get that as well, pure jealousy. But I'd also like to think, look, we've managed to get some loyal fans already. I mean, you look at Adam, who, none of us had a relationship with before. I looked today and saw a Wikipedia page going up, and I'd like to think, even if we can gain another 5-10 loyal fans every single season, they're just kind of growing them. And in 10 years' time, these guys saying, actually, I was part of it at the start. Or Adam, in 10 years' time, I'd love him to be sitting there saying, someone's reading the wiki page. He was like, I set that up for them in 2023.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Adam. It's really good.
I'm hoping people can start to, become part of this football club, I think. And that would be really exciting. I think if we get our own home, I think that will,
That'd be nice.
Again be great for us. And there is things that I'm exploring at this point in time that might be able to be good solutions for us as well longer term. But as I said, for next 3 years or next 2.5 years, we're still going to be at Welwyn Garden City. And if we don't find a new home, then chances are we'll probably ask them if we can extend our agreement with them.
Nice. Okay. I've just remembered there was a feature I wanted to launch tonight. I told Dave about it and he forgot to remind me, just for a bit of fun. And it was meant to be at the beginning. It's called Guess the Player. And Craig has been helping with this. The first one is actually, I think, going to be really easy. But everyone in the comments, get ready. Who is this player? Come on, give us your answers. It will take about 20 seconds before we start in. Yeah, it could be.
You're looking my hair a little bit.
We're going to do this every week, though. And
Has anyone answered it?
We put it in at the beginning, and the fastest people to answer get a shout out because we haven't got any freebies, or they get free burgers and chips at the next game.
I wish I had that hairline. Here we go.
Got two Joshes.
Georgie and Sue, both in with Josh. Yeah. Sorry, Josh. Had to be done. It's payback from Casey. But we'll have another one next week. And
have you only got one?
I only got one for tonight. Yeah. Okay. I knew we'd be talking a lot tonight. But Craig is going to send me the next one. He's been sending me loads. So he's going to send me one. And he's in charge of that.
Cool.
Well, that was very good.
Yeah.
I think it might be time to go looking at the darts. Don't tell me the scores. I have a tape.
I had another question before you go. I was meant to do this at the beginning as well. What was your best Christmas present, Dave, and your worst Christmas present?
What, this year?
Yeah. And Michael and T, think of it as well.
Can't even remember what I got.
T, best Christmas present?
So, yeah, my best one, it came into play yesterday morning when I went to the gym at about 5:30 in the morning. It was a heated gilet. So basically...
heated gilet?
Yeah, and normally when I go into my car takes, 4 or 5 minutes to warm up. Even if you put the heated seat on, it still takes a bit of time. But yesterday I woke up and it was cold outside, put my heated gilet on, pressed the button, which made me feel really geeky, pressing the button.
I love it.
I pressed the button and I was warm, and I love that. So that was probably...
T, can you show me your heated gilet next time I see you, please?
Yeah, 100% you can see it. I wouldn't say my worst present, but the present where I was like, oh God, this is spot on. I got a coaster, and I think on it had a man playing sport, and it said, I've got this, I just need a bit more ibuprofen and I'm a little bit slower.
Nick, you got your best present?
The best present I got was actually a set of 4 ceiling speakers, Sonos ones.
Oh, lovely.
Which is brilliant, except I forgot to run the cables in the ceiling before I finished my kitchen. So it's my best present, but also... In some ways, yeah, I've now got to make my ceiling look like a colander to get some speakers in.
Oh,
so it's a fantastic present. But
your best present was the speakers. Your worst present was a fully plastered ceiling.
Yeah. I was so busy with it, and I thought I'll get that speaker cable, run it in, and I only remembered when the guy had closed up half the ceiling. I thought, do I ask him to stop, or I thought just leave it, take the loss.
You thought.
My best presents were a pair of AirPods, and my worst presents was
hearing aids.
What? Oh no, I love that be presents.
Oh, good. All right, well, that was it. I was meant to ask that at the beginning. Anything else before we wrap up? Any closing statements?
No,
It's
all
finished.
good.
No,
Shrinking.
obviously we went out on Saturday night, didn't we? I think it was Saturday night. I think I'm pretty sure Becco said he's coming back to us next year, didn't he?
He did.
I think, can we tell the Becco story?
Yeah, can we?
If we
Somewhat
leave out-
Diluted.
Someone...
You heard that this happened to someone who you don't know who it was.
Yeah. We
Becco.
heard a story
For a friend.
that Becco
Well, we
told
can leave
us.
that out.
So someone was
Yeah.
driving inappropriately on a motorway somewhere, and someone else was following them.
James.
Is this a good story?
The most vague
We're leaving out
story
the
ever.
details.
That's the funniest thing ever.
And that person happened to have a light in their car because they're
They're
a
assembled.
videographer. And that light has effects. And one of those effects is a blue flashing light. And this person got pulled over and absolutely shit themselves. That's the story. But there's more to it. But we heard from someone who heard from someone else, so we haven't got all the details.
James and Becco.
Mentioning
Can I,
no names
Dave?
apart from James and Becco.
Yeah. But yeah.
Becco's rousing speech at 2:30 in the morning. On his,
Oh, that was brilliant.
did you listen to that too?
Oh yeah, I did listen to that.
The
It's
C
spot on
bomb
to
was
me,
dropped.
Becco, I love
Yeah.
that fella. Oh, he's
We'll
mad.
play that
He-
to you, Mick, before you
He's
go home.
funny, isn't he?
We should play that now.
He weren't even invited on the team night out, and he still turned up. He went
Yeah,
not
he's a
nothing to do with us. Though.
Is that
Nah,
commitment,
no.
or has he got a drink problem?
He's always welcome.
Yeah,
He's
he
always
is.
welcome.
He's a
Love
character.
He's a good lad. Right.
Yeah.
As always, thank you, T, for giving up time. Thank you to Dave and Mick for coming in and giving up
welcome.
time physically. T was going to come here physically as well, by the way, but I just don't have enough room for everybody in the cabin. But thank you all for tuning in. We've had 58 views. We've had 18, 25 peak viewers, I think. Yeah, Dave's pointing at
21
the stats.
hours.
But thank you all very much.
Do you know,
Your
before we
support.
go, do you know what I should have
Oh.
said was my worst present?
Got it.
I got tea second-hand for Thatcher's ciders. That's a shit present.
You can't see him
that
on your
come up?
picture because of green screen. I don't even know if this is a good cider. Do you like that too? Thatcher's Gold. Should
Yeah,
I just
I'm
give
up
it
for that.
I'll
Can I
keep,
have two each?
I'll keep them for you, Tay. I'll give them to you
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah,
Oh, dear.
perfect. Yeah.
But yeah, thanks everyone.
See you, T.
Comments,
Cheers, everyone.
likes, shares, all the
care.
good stuff. Help us get to that 1,000 subs, and we will be super appreciative. Thank you all for watching.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. See you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.